Hi, I'm Tyler Nessler, the Associate Editor of Streaming Media, and today I have the opportunity to speak with Jimmy Reid, the Chief Technology Officer of Event Stream Team, headquartered in Baltimore, Maryland. And Event Stream Team is a family business run by Jimmy, who also serves as the company's Chief Technology Officer, with clients ranging from nonprofits and museums to government and state agencies. Event Stream Team has quickly become one of the go-to production companies on the East Coast, and its flexible kit allows the company to deliver on a wide range of needs for a variety of customers. So welcome, Jimmy.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. And so wanted to kick it up by just mentioning, so at Streaming Media, we've been doing many interviews with people who've been pivoting back to remote. And it appears that a lot of the industry has switched almost completely back to in-person productions now after a long period of remote production during the pandemic. So my first question is, how did the period of remote production impact the way that you now approach on-site productions in terms of new equipment or new modifications to the ways that you previously worked on site, in terms of like the amount of crew, the way that the crew works? Just where are you now?
Well, really the key point for us, we use I would say the virtual production time, not having to move gear and stuff as a way to really optimize how we do stuff in person. For example, before we would have a lot of road cases with individual gear and having to connect cables. During we would say the pandemic break from in-person events, we built this kit behind me that we can roll into any venue and be ready to go within 40 minutes. It
That's
just
great.
saves a lot of time. And so we just really invested in technology to assist us with one, minimizing setup time, and two, being able to deliver a higher end service.
Wonderful. Could you talk a little bit about this kit that's behind you right now?
Yeah, this kit is uh, a dream of mine that I've been having for like the last 5 years. And so over the pandemic, I was able to partner with Zcase and Pro X Cases, and they built this design that we came up with collectively. And so it's a creation that was on a piece of paper that ended up becoming something in the real world. And it's based on Blackmagic. And so the original plan was to go with a smaller Blackmagic switcher, but the new Constellation line came out in like perfect timing. And so we have a Constellation Blackmagic Constellation HD 2ME as the heart of this case.
That's great. How closely did you work with Blackmagic in terms of customizing this case?
Well, a lot of phone calls to them, just making sure that the camera converters and the Ethernet links, and just really, my goal was to simplify cable management. And so just making sure that their camera converters for the new studio cameras will get the job done for me. You'd be a little leery with new technology, but we decided, after speaking with Blackmagic, to just, you know, really trust their word that the technology was dependable. And I have to say, utilizing the Studio Camera 4K Pros with their studio converters and having a single Ethernet cable
Yeah.
really simplifies setup and cable management, because it's got to be neat at the same time.
Right, right. And you've worked on a couple of unique and challenging projects recently. For instance, did a 4-hour live streamed court hearing in Baltimore County. And then you also did this historic unveiling of William Arthur Smith's painting, Andrew Ellicott and Benjamin Benneker surveying the boundaries of Washington, D.C. at the Benneker Douglas Museum in Annapolis. So what were some of the specific challenges posed by those two locations and the settings? And then how did upgrading to the new Blackmagic design gear and this kit that you're using help meet those challenges and improve the on-site workflows?
The biggest challenge was in the physical space. It was a hybrid event, so they did have some studio audience, and so it wasn't a lot of space for us to set up. So we ended up having to have all the gear on the third floor and all the cameras and microphones on the second floor.
All right.
So utilizing the Blackmagic Studio Camera 4K Pros with the studio converters, being able to only having to run 3 cables down for cameras just made it so easy to tape them down and have it be safe and look neat. And also at the same time, utilizing the 2ME Constellation, I was able to feed a projector with a separate video feed far as slides and PowerPoints. And essentially like having 2 switchers in one. It just made it much easier to execute.
I can imagine. Yeah. So I'm aware. So this production switcher basically allows you to make lens and setting adjustments to cameras that are essentially remote without actually having to have a camera operator right there working the camera. Is that correct?
Yes, we actually invested in their camera controller unit as well. It's sitting on the desk back here, and that allows us to, my camera ops can focus on getting a good shot. Then I have a live colorist that their job is to make sure the shots look great, as far as gain, ISO, just all the nerdy technical camera stuff. Just make sure that looks good. So having
Right.
a camera op focusing on getting a good shot, then having my colorist focus on painting the cameras, it was it makes it much easier, and we're able to turn around a quality product as far
I,
as the live is concerned. Of course, in post production, you could fix stuff, but when
right.
it comes to live, you get one opportunity to get it right.
Right. And it sounds like you with this particular equipment, it's just less issues that you have to fix in post anyways, since you can
Exactly.
monitor. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, let's see, I wanted to ask you about so basically with editing, um, you switched to this DaVinci Resolve Studio 18 editing
Yes.
creating visual effects. Because I believe that you've talked before about how time consuming the whole editing process is. So, um, could you talk about your plans to outsource editing with the Blackmagic Cloud and how that will kind of streamline and simplify your editing process overall?
Like right now, editing takes a lot of time. And so before you have to send hard drives or strictly depend on Dropbox, and there was no real way to collaborate using some of the other editing suites that we've used. But our goal is to use the Blackmagic new cloud platform, and that way I can partner with editors and colorists across the planet and
Right.
form these relationships where we can turn around the end product almost as soon as we finish shooting. And so
That's
be able to be able to upload it, to the cloud and have an editor get started right away. And so finding the right editors is going to be a key component. But with Blackmagic, this whole technology infrastructure is taken care of, especially since being able to synchronize the files and they can have proxy copies. I'm looking forward to it.
that's great. So you haven't actually implemented that yet, but that's in the works.
Yeah, I'm ordering I think it's the 20 tera unit. So we're working on that now, because once we get that in place, then capacity won't be an issue, because our goal, we have a lot of gigs on the books. And so I'll fill up eight terabytes pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so for being able to have 20 terabytes available, it's just going to be set it and forget it. We can just
Yeah.
worry about producing the content and delivering the quality product versus, oh, we got to send this hard drive, that hard drive, and then is it going to get damaged in shipping? And so,
Yeah.
but our goal is hopefully by December 1st, to have our cloud drive. We've already got some projects on the cloud now that we're using, but once we get that drive, it's just gonna just really simplify everything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, sounds like a total game changer with this. Um, so then do you want to talk about one or two upcoming projects that you're excited about in terms of implementing all of this new tech?
We actually are live streaming a conference coming up in 2 weeks, and this conference is going to be one where we have to be able to really show off the technology a little bit, because we are encouraging our clients to be more inclusive and really pay attention and try to incorporate ASL interpreters, make sure closed captioning is in there. And so this conference we got coming up, we're gonna have the picture in picture with the ASL interpreter live, and just doing utilizing the Blackmagic cameras USB output to record in 4K, to have ISO copies of all the cameras, and just really raising the bar.
Sounds like it. Yes, and improving accessibility. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's so important, because a lot of times when we are creating content, we forget about the people with that's might be visually impaired or hearing impaired. And so the audio part is always important to me, to make sure that it's clear. And it's like, even on this Zoom right now, I have on a lapel mic. but as audio is so key, but also for the people that's hearing impaired, make sure we got the ASL interpreters there. And a lot of times, we'll go back and update the closed captioning, because a lot of the YouTube automatic generated closed captioning isn't accurate. And so a person on our team would spend hours just editing the closed captioning. Just stuff, it's small stuff like that that's time
Yeah.
consuming, but the end result, I feel like separates us from some of our competitors. And really, I don't have competitors. I have future people to partner with.
I love it. Yeah, it's a great way to put it. Okay, great. Well, so yeah, I think we covered kind of all the basics here about the new Blackmagic tech that you're working with. Is there anything else you'd like to add or talk about, or any other tech or new projects you're working on to close this out?
Any new tech? Yes. uh, Coming up first quarter 2023, we're going to be doing an additional investment in our Blackmagic infrastructure, and we're going to be deploying Ursa Broadcast G2 cameras. And so we're really excited to add those to the fold for some of our larger projects and opportunities that we're pursuing. And so that's going to be awesome tools to have in the kit.